I'm Stacey Hyde, and I'm back with another episode of Better Financial Health in 15 minutes or less. And this is episode 99. It's hard to believe. In any event, I wanted to talk about something today that is continuing to pop up on my news feeds. It's about people spending more now on experiences, travel, concert tickets, instead of saving for sort of traditional things such as a house down payment, new car, and kind of what's behind that, and really sort of my take on that as a financial planner. I will say that the pandemic and everything that has happened over the last several years, I think has really made people more aware of we are not promised tomorrow, and it's important to spend time with our family and friends while we can, to take advantage of those moments and not to put off everything to retirement. I think that's important, and I've talked before on the podcast about how important it is to prioritize experiences versus stuff. So my take on this is, if you are prioritizing spending on vacations, concerts, things that really bring you together with family and friends and you really get to enjoy it, I think that makes a lot of sense. Certainly much more so than going binge shopping and buying a bunch of stuff that you're just going to have to get rid of a year or so from now because you don't have enough places to put it because you're not buying the next bigger house. But I want to talk about sort of some framework for how to think about pursuing these types of experiences. Do I think you should use credit card debt for them? Certainly not. Not with the way the rates of interest have gone up on credit cards and things of that nature. I still think it's important to prioritize having some money in an emergency fund in case something does happen. In case something breaks, your car breaks down because you're holding it longer and you've got to pay for those repairs. Something has to be replaced at your home, you have a medical bill, you're part of a deductible or a copay that's expensive. You need to make sure that you've provided for that. But then yes, do I think it makes sense to use some of those savings to take the trip? Yes. Do I think it makes sense to reduce your contributions to your 401k? Maybe. I wouldn't likely go below what you're getting matched from your employer because you're turning away free money at that point. But if your employer matches 6 and you've been putting in 10, but you also want to save up for a once in a lifetime trip because maybe your oldest child is getting ready to graduate from high school, or maybe they're getting ready to start, later elementary school, and you can't really pull them out of school like you can now when they're in first grade, because mom and dad can handle first grade homework and keep them on track, then yeah, I think it makes sense to use that extra money, set it aside so that you don't incur that credit card debt. Because realistically, right now, even a low cost 401k loan is going to cost you 8.5%, 9.5%, depending on how your employer sets that interest rate. And money that you borrow out of your 401k is not invested and it's not earning for you. So it really will reduce what you have in retirement. So instead of leaving your contributions where they are and taking a loan, reduce down to the amount of the employer match, save that money, set it aside, not in the same bank where your normal spending goes, another bank. We've talked about that before. And let that accumulate so that you can enjoy these things. I do think that people are finding out now that maybe they don't need the huge house that they thought they did, because if they don't buy the stuff and they travel more, it's nice to not have all that upkeep and those expenses, because as you increase the size of your house, you increase the size of your electric bill. You also have more HVAC systems that can break down. You've got more roof. It just can add a lot of expenses. So that's something that people are finding that, well, maybe I don't need all that. So do I think that it's a mistake to maybe sort of put on a back burner, saving for that new car, the new house, or the upgraded house. No, not at all. I think that while interest rates are high, it can make all the sense in the world to go out and enjoy while you're young. Embrace those experiences, spend time with your family. But don't neglect the basic foundation. Don't run up the credit card bills to do it. Don't neglect to fund an emergency fund, because that's when Murphy's Law is going to get you. You know, what can go wrong will go wrong. The Stacey corollary to that is at the worst possible moment. So you want to make sure you're prepared and use those savings for expanding your horizons, getting out there and having fun with friends and family. Thanks again for tuning in. This has been another episode of Better Financial Health in 15 minutes or less.